Hello guys, my name is Edwin. Welcome to this channel. It's a unplanned one, but I know I've gotten several emails. I'm not a medical lab scientist, but I've gotten like some messages from people asking me to, talk about the pathway for medical lab scientists and technicians and how they can come to Australia. So if you're coming to my channel, my name is Edwin Madu. I talk about like pathways to Australia, how people can come to Australia to live and work. And today I'm just doing a short one for medical lab scientists and medical lab technicians. So it's very good for this particular profession because the good thing about here is that medical lab technicians and scientists, there are a lot of them from my home country, Nigeria, who are searching for information on how to come to Australia to live and work. So if you're a medical lab scientist or you have a friend who is one, just share this link to them so that they can get more information on how they can move to Australia. Sometimes when you talk about coming to Australia or any other country, some people think it's only the student pathway that you can come here. But the good thing is medical lab scientists can actually come here as permanent residents. So all you need to do is just to do your skills assessment. So um, within this short period or this short time, I'm going to take through the steps on how medical lab scientists or technicians can come here to live and work in their field. So basically, what you need as a medical lab scientist is your degree as a medical lab scientist, and you also need at least 2 years post qualification of experience. So these are the minimum requirement expected of you as a medical lab scientist. So if you have your degree and you have at least 2 years post qualification experience, I tell you, Australia is for you. Australia is in their need of medical lab scientists and technicians. If you have a friend who has finished from university in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, India, and is interested in coming to Australia, and you're also willing to write your English test, then why not? So uh, you can actually come here to live and work. So, like I said before, you have your degree, you have at least for 2 years post qualification experience, then you can actually come here as a skilled migration worker. For medical lab scientists, there are a lot of visa options for you guys. So you have visa 189, which is the federal visa. You have 190. You have 491. So these are eligible visa options for medical lab scientists. And just like every other profession, the first thing you need to do if you're coming here is for you to do your skills assessment. I'm going to make a video on this particular one that I'm just saying now, but I will drop in the description section of this video. I'm going to drop in this video, like in the description section, the link of the assessing body that will help you to do your skills assessment. So when we talk about skills assessment, we're talking about this assessing body comparing your degree to see that is equivalent to what you can get here in Australia. So it's very essential for the body to go through your document, assess it, and compare it to Australian education or the standard that is obtainable here in Australia. So you need English language test. It's very important. So, and for medical lab scientists, there are a lot of options you can choose from. You can choose to write PTE, IELTS, general or academics. You can also decide to go for you can also decide to go for OET. So whichever one you prefer. I personally I prefer PTE because it's for me it's very easy and it's computer based. I love to work with computer. It's computer based. So all you need to do is just to prepare for it. I'm also going to drop in the description section of this video the app that I used when I was doing my English test. It's called AP Unit. So you just need to subscribe. You just need to subscribe to it, and then it will help you to prepare for the English language test. So you have your English language test. You also need to get like a verification letter from your employer. Remember I said you need at least 2 years work experience. post-graduation experience as a medical lab scientist. Um, so this has to be in writing. So you have to meet employer to write a sort of verification letter. I'm going to drop in the description section of this video the link that will take you to the assessment body website so that you can see the format on how you can write the verification letter, or how your employer can write the verification letter for you to do this as a medical lab scientist. So we've talked about employment, we've talked about English language test. So after you've gathered all your documents, so you need to scan it in a format and send it to the email address that is contained in the website. The assessment fee is around 990 Australian dollars, and it takes around 6 months for for them to complete your application. So that is pending if you've submitted everything. So it's advisable for you guys to go through the process step by step. Make sure you have everything you need as a medical. Make sure you have everything you need that is contained in that information, so that they're able to do the assessment within they're able to do the assessment within the stipulated time. I'm just going to the website of this body to read out essential information for medical lab scientists. So why I'm doing this, if you have someone who is a medical lab scientist, if you have someone who is a medical lab technician that is willing to come to Australia next year, I said next year because it takes time for you to plan. If you're coming here as a skill or migration worker, it takes a bit of time. So you need to plan it. Usually, I would say it's 1 to 2 years plan for you to gather your documents, send it to the assessing body for you to prepare for English tests, getting nomination, and then applying for your visa as well. So I'm currently in the website of the body that does the skills assessment for medical lab science. So if you're coming here as a medical laboratory scientist, so there are two pathways basically. One, people that finished their medical laboratory science degree here in Australia, they don't need to go through exam. All they need to do is, as far as the university is accredited, they just apply straight and they get their skills assessment. But if you're coming overseas from Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, India, you have to go through this second pathway where you send your document to the assessing body and they will assess it to see that it's comparable to what is obtainable here in Australia. At the end of the day, you're giving what is called a positive skills assessment letter that you can use to launch your EOI and be invited to come and live here and work as a medical laboratory scientist. So one of the requirements here is a scanned copy of your valid international passport. This one is the basic thing. If you want to go abroad, it's one of the basic requirements you need for you to have a valid international passport. They also said you need a digital photograph of yourself, um, a color scan of at least one or more of secondary document like your national ID card, driver's license, student ID card, or Australian visa. And then the mandatory requirement that I mentioned is English language test, and there are various options for you guys. So basically, just to go straight to the point, I will drop the link in the description section of this video at the end of this live. So all you need to do is just to gather all the documents you need and then scan everything in a single folder, send it to the email address that is provided in the link. And in terms of your transcript, you have to ask your university to send it to the address that is stated in that website. After you've done all this, you pay for the application fee. So you have to wait for about 6 months for them to, complete the assessment. And the assessment is positive for medical lab scientists. So if it is positive, you'll be assessed as a medical laboratory technician. Then after you complete the professional exam and is successful, you will now be classified as a medical laboratory scientist. But the good thing for you guys is even at the stage of medical laboratory technician, you can still use that skills assessment to apply for your expression of interest. So you don't need to wait. So while you are waiting to prepare for your exam, you can use the skills assessment you've gotten as a medical laboratory technician to lodge your expression of interest. The expression of interest we are talking about here is, I will drop the link in the description section of this video at the end of this live. It's just for you to, tell the department everything about you, your work experience. You're talking about your work experience, your age, your academic qualification. All of those things are very essential. So at the end of the day, the department will use that to put you at a score. So I was just checking for one or two things. So after you've launched your application for expression of interest, you now have to wait for you to be invited. As a medical laboratory technician, you are eligible for visa 190. You can also apply for 491 visa. And the good thing here, as I said, the medical laboratory scientists, technicians are in the shortage skill occupation list in Australia. So virtually all the states in Australia are looking for medical laboratory scientists. So all you need to so all you need to do is just for you to all you need to do is just for you to launch the application, and by the time you know it, you will be invited. So it's a very short video to encourage medical lab scientists who are interested in coming to Australia to live and work in their field. Just to encourage you guys. Like I said, it's a long process, but by the time you get started, by the time you know it, you accomplish your mission. Just a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the very first step. And this is the start of a new financial year. At the moment, I think we have close to 185,000 seats being allocated. So very soon, some of the states in Australia will get to know the number of applicants, the number of people they need to take. So it's a very good time at the start of the year, financial year in Australia, for you to, start planning your coming here in Australia as a medical laboratory scientist. It takes a bit of time. So at this time around, if I'm overseas as a medical lab scientist, all I need to do at this stage is to start getting my document ready. If I need to sit for English test, I do it. And if I have everything expected of me in terms of the requirements, I will launch the application and then wait for positive skills assessment. Like I said, as a medical lab scientist, once the assessment is out, you are being assessed as a medical laboratory technician. And with that skills assessment, you can use it to, launch your application. But that is the first stage. Then the second stage is for you to sit for your professional exam, for you to, become, or for you to be classified as a medical laboratory scientist. After the initial stage, after the first stage of the assessment, the assessing body will send you like a letter that will, you know, contain the procedure on how you can proceed to the next stage. They're also going to include in the email they're going to send to you like sample question papers from previous exams, and they're also going to give you resources. It's very easy exam. It's a multiple choice question. And there is, if you have Facebook, if you go to Facebook, there is also a group of medical laboratory scientists here in Australia, or people who are also planning to come here. So you can join the group, and you guys are able to share ideas and, ask questions. What is expected of you in that exam? So once you pass that exam, you are classified as a medical laboratory scientist. And the good thing about this exam is you can sit for this exam at the comfort of your room. You don't need to travel anywhere. You don't need to go to any center to sit for the exam. You can do it at the comfort of your room, provided you have a computer or laptop on your desk and you have a good internet connection. So if you have these two basic requirements, and you've studied for the exam well and you've enrolled for it, you can sit for it at the comfort of your room. And you passing that exam and being classified as a medical laboratory scientist, it opens your option for you to be able to come to Australia to live and work in your profession. Why I say it opens your option, as a medical laboratory scientist, you are eligible for 189, which is the federal sponsored visa. With that visa, you can stay anywhere in Australia. But as a medical laboratory technician, you are not eligible for 189. You can only apply for 190 and 491 visa. But you passing the exam as a medical laboratory scientist, you have options of all the visas here. So 189, 190, 491. We are not even talking about employer sponsored visa. So it's a very good thing here for medical laboratory scientists who have completed their degree and have at least 2 years post graduation experience. You have your English test. You need at least, if it is PTE, you need at least 65 across the band. If you're talking of IELTS, in IELTS, whether it's general or academics, you also need 7 across the band. So the opportunity is here for you guys, and I can't wait to see you in Australia. So if you're a medical lab scientist and you are in this life, I want you to say hi in the comment section. And if you're one, or if you have a friend who is one, you can share this link to them. I'm going to make a video, more detailed video with links attached to it that will give you guys information, more and detailed information on how you can come here as a medical lab scientist. So if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section here. I'm responding to comment from people online. So if you have any question here, like I said, if you're a medical lab scientist and you have friends or family members who are interested in coming to Australia, please share this link to them. I'm going to make a more detailed video that will give you guys more ideas on how you can come to Australia to live and work in your profession as a medical laboratory scientist or technician. It's a very noble profession, and at the moment where the financial year is just getting started in Australia. So guys, I'll be ending this live in the next few minutes, in 5 minutes time. Just like I said earlier, this video is for medical laboratory scientists, technicians who are interested in coming to Australia to live and work in their field. Like I said before, there are two basic requirements, minimum requirement expected of you. You need to, there are two minimum basic requirement expected of you. So the first one is you need to have completed a degree in medical laboratory science. You also need to have a minimum of 2 years experience. So these are the two basic requirements. Then after that, you need to gather your documents. You have to sit for English language test. And as far as English language test is concerned, there are various options for you guys. So there is PTE, there is OET, there is IELTS, BEAT, General Academics. If you're talking of PTE, you need 65 across the band. If you're talking of IELTS, at least 7 across the band. In terms of employment, 2 years post graduation experience is what is expected. You need to have a reference letter which is going to be drafted by your employer. In the description section of this video, at the end of this video, I'm going to add a link that will give you the essential information, everything you need to know in regards documentation for you to do your skills assessment. The fee for skills assessment for you guys is around 990 Australian dollar. Sorry, it's 900 Australian dollars. Then if you're within Australia, you're doing the skills assessment, it's 990. In terms of payment, it's advisable for you to, if you're in Nigeria, you can have like a dollar account which you can use to do that payment. If you don't have a dollar account, you can get someone here in Australia you can trust. The person can connect you to people that do all these transactions, and they can help you to make that payment. So once you submit your application, it takes around 6 months for the assessing body to complete your assessment as a medical laboratory scientist, as far as you have provided them with everything required of you. So it's advisable for you to go through that document, make sure that you provide the body with all the essential document, because if you miss anything and they have to write email back to you, so that is going to delay the process. So as far as everything is intact and you pay the fee, it takes roughly 6 months for them to complete the process. And when the process is being completed, like I said, for medical laboratory scientists, you will be classified as a medical laboratory technician. So at this stage, you have option of going for the exam to be classified as a scientist. This exam is MCQ, is around 150 questions, multiple choice question. The good thing here, guys, you can sit for this exam at the comfort of your room. If you have good internet, you have a laptop, you can sit for this exam. So once you pass the exam, you are classified as a medical laboratory scientist. In terms of um applying for your visa to come here, you have an edge if you are a medical laboratory scientist. And remember, for you to be classified as a medical laboratory scientist in your skills assessment, you need to pass the professional exam. And once this is passed and you have your skills assessment letter as a technician or as a scientist, you now have to lodge your expression of interest, which is known as EOI. Everyone does that in Australia if you're coming here as a skilled worker. So you lodge your EOI. Then some states like Queensland, Melbourne, we also expect you to do what is called as ROI. So when you are being invited, you have to submit all the points you've claimed. You have to submit evidence to, back up all the claims you made when you are submitting your EOI. And at the end of the day, you have to apply for your visa and then wait for your visa to be granted. And once your visa is granted, you start coming to Australia to live and work in your profession as a medical laboratory scientist. Australia is waiting for you. If you're one medical laboratory scientist and you have all these requirements, this is the best time to start. I say it's the best time because the financial year actually started here in Australia. So the migration planning level has been released. Some of the states are yet to get the numbers they need. So it's the best time for you to start planning. Maybe you want to come here in 2026, 2027. This is the best time to, put things in order and then make that bold move. No. The one thing I say here is it's good for you to be optimistic. It's good for you to, take that bold step. Don't allow something to keep drawing you back, your friends or your environment. Like if you're determined to make that bold step, do the first thing first, maybe by sitting for English language test. And one step leads to another. And by the time you know it, you have completed the process. Please do not allow someone to distract you. Just stay focused, and I'm very, very sure that in no time to come, your dream will be actualized. Until then, when you come to Australia, remember to say hi to me. And then, if you are interested, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, share it to your friends who are MedLab scientists, so that next time when I make a video, they'll be notified, and that way we're able to encourage more people, to diversify, to go to various countries, to show their professional knowledge and also contribute towards the health of humanity around the world. I'll see you in my next video, guys. Until then, do have a lovely day, morning, or night, afternoon, wherever you're watching from. See you guys. Bye.